Welcome to another week of Shoes Off Talk. You know, we come on in, take your shoes off, about to get real uncomfortable. First, no, we're about to get comfortable to have some uncomfortable conversations.
There you go.
All
there
right.
you go.
All right. Larvell S. Dot Witt, don't forget the S. Dot, a.k.a. the Sun Valley Nino, a.k.a. Mr. No, Don't Stop. What's happening, y'all?
Oh my God. Hey man, we gonna have to do like a pre-show so we know what he gonna say.
Right, you know.
Oh my God. We have a special guest today on the show,
Yeah, man.
Mr. Will I Am.
How everybody doing? Y'all good? We good?
All right.
Everything copacetic in my life. How about yours?
Oh man, I can't complain, man.
All
I'm
right.
above ground, chilling, having a good day. Woke up in my bed by myself because she left, so that's great.
Oh my God.
When we
Now
about to get it.
We have
two
an
of them now.
influencer
Come on,
over
man.
here.
I enjoy sleeping alone. Like it's too much body heat. Get over there. Like just leave.
Okay, that's a segue into another show.
Oh,
Not
okay,
this
cool.
one, but
Hey.
another show. That actually is a good segue.
Yeah. What we gonna talk about today, Tim?
Man, look, we have an array of things that we're talking about today.
Before we do that, what's going on, Floyd?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
We almost forgot.
Yo. Okay. It's your boy Floyd. You better recognize.
Also, worry
I'm
about
gonna
my
need you to
nicknames.
work with him. I'm gonna need you to work with him. I'm gonna need you to.
Okay, Tim. What's going on, Tim?
I'm gonna need you to work with him. Hey. So we got some really interesting topics today.
Okay.
So, I had some people at my house a few weeks ago,
Oh, man.
and you remember how we got on the subject of like family dynamics and relationships in family, and
I don't know how we got there, but when we got there, it was God.
I got a little passionate.
Oh, yeah.
I got a little passionate. Okay, I'm gonna pose this question to the audience, and in the comments on Facebook, I want you guys to give me your short response. But what I want to hear is, what could your mom possibly do that would cause you to sever the relationship with her? Or what could your mom do that would put a strain on your relationship?
Now, everybody sitting now, you know I couldn't wait to talk about this because I'm in one of those type of relationships with my mom. Unfortunately, I have not spoken with my mother in about 7 years.
Wow.
And she's still alive. But everybody's dynamics is different of why they choose to not speak with you, talk to you. In my case, it's a religion. It's a religion. And just because of a religion states that you cannot talk to this person because this person is XYZ, you're excommunicating your own family members and not talking to them because of a religion.
Is that you not talking to them or them not talking to you?
Them not talking to me. So, to bring it to light, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. I am no longer a Jehovah's Witness. Because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, and or disfellowshipped, it's like, you know what they say about John Wick?
Excommunicado.
Excommunicado.
Everybody just
You can't come in the sanctuary no more.
can't come to the sanctuary no more. Can't go into the kingdom halls. So because of that, it puts a strain on relationships because these are the people, at least from my standpoint, these are the people you grew up with, family members, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents. You can't talk to none of them no more. So in my instance, it's a little bit different because of religion. Now, majority of people, it's because of things that maybe that person has done in his lifetime where that person may not be trustworthy. That's another way people stop talking to people. You're giving this person so much of a chance, and they just can't live with everybody or can't talk to everybody, even if they're family. So there's different ones.
So what say you, Mr. Mays?
Hey,
Willie Mays.
well, okay. Word.
We just gave him a nickname.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Being 100% honest, I get it. I get why some people. Well, we're staying with moms, right? Well, that's what we're staying with.
Well,
Staying with moms.
it could be just throw moms in there.
Okay.
You know.
As for my mother, she's been gone 12, 13 years, but I was a mama's boy. So the way I was raised, how I was raised, everything that was happening around me, I was raised in love. So I seen my mother and my father love on each other. I'd never seen them have an argument. I know they argued, because don't nobody just get along all the time together.
That's how those
Right. So I know they had arguments, they had fuss and fights, but they never showed it in front of us, in front of the kids. My grandparents were the same way. So I was raised in love. I've seen that. I've seen what quote unquote wife, how she acts towards her husband. I've seen a quote unquote husband act how he's supposed to act towards his wife. I've seen them as a united front, even when me and my siblings were acting crazy and bucking against one of them. Yeah, we buck against one of them till the other one get home, and then both of them is on us. Mm-hmm. So, not talking to my mother these past 12 years has been the absolute worst for me because she hasn't been here. I'm not physically able to talk to her. You know, they say, you know, pray, they'll give you signs that your mother or people that you're praying to or talking to are still talking to you. And my daughter is a keen sign of that. She say some things that only my mother has said to me. And it's like, ooh, I know Kathleen is talking to her grandchild, but ooh, I want to punch this little girl in the throat. Like, but you know, I can't. But you know, that's I don't know. For me personally, we was sharing about it earlier. I have a friend that he doesn't trust black women because of how he was raised.
Okay, let's
save that part.
Pause that.
Okay, I will save that.
We're gonna get into that part, but you bring up an excellent point from a different perspective. You bring up the perspective of almost kind of like mom can't do anything because you know what it's like not to be able to make it right, not to have those conversations, because you kind of fall in line with how I think. How I think is mom can't do no wrong. Like I'm not literally saying she can't, but mom gets a pass.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is that without mom, there is no me.
Facts.
And you have to put yourself, speaking from the human standpoint, we can't count how many times we messed up in our lives, individually. And if you're going to hold mom to a higher standard than you hold this chick that you stayed with when you shouldn't have been with her, and this dude that you constantly giving chance after chance, and people that you come in contact with on a daily basis that ain't mom, that you giving passes to. Mom is the ultimate pass. Mom is the ultimate pass. And for that reason, you not having your mom here, it's quite a few people that know what it's like to lose mom. You know in your mind that it's the day is coming. You can never prepare yourself for it. From a perspective of someone looking from the outside in. That is yet another reason why I feel like mom is like everything starts and ends with mom. Like everything starts and ends with mom. I know when you get married, your wife becomes, that figurehead in your life and this and that. But mom is the constant. Mom is there when the wives are no longer wives and they're ex-wives. Mom is there when the girlfriends are no longer their current girlfriends.
I wish I could feel that.
It's tough. Like people could sit here and tell you how you should feel, but for them not to have gone through the situation that you've gone through, but you also have to understand, like elaborating on your situation. and we said this earlier, at some point in your life, you have to set aside the pride and all of those things that damage us and say, hey, I need to make this right. I can't sit around and wait on somebody, even though they may have been in the wrong. You cannot carry that weight around with you. You have to release that load off of you and almost kind of like put the onus on them. Like, I've made several attempts to reach out to you. You're still my mom. I'm gonna love you. I understand the situation you're in, the religion you're in. Do I agree with it? No. And that brings up, kind of. This is another. Well, I'll save that. But that's kind of in line with that. I'm just gonna put this out there.
Yeah.
But this could be a later conversation. What if your sons came to you and told you you were gay? I mean, that they were gay.
If he came to me and told me I was gay, I think I would know. Like,
No.
nigga, I'm in. I got
So
go resume tonight, bro.
This was a subject that was in church, and it brought up an interesting, because everybody try to be politically correct. Everybody try to say the right thing when the public eye is on. But we as guys feel a certain way about our boys.
Yeah. I got 2 sons, so
Exactly. And while we would accept them for whatever decisions, my son could go out and kill somebody. He's still my son. I love him. I
Right.
love him no less.
No matter
I
what.
love him no less.
I've literally told my son that, like, come to me if you have an issue, if you have a problem, tell me about it, because I need to know if I need to tell the truth about something or I need a lie to protect you. I'm serious. Come
That's-
to me.
I'm
I
not.
need to figure out if I need to lie
That's
to the police right now.
that's one thing that I can honestly say that I'm never gonna do. If my son does something, he's gonna be a man and he's gonna own it. I'm not gonna lie for him. If you kill somebody, I'm turning you in.
Oh,
Because
Well, I mean,
because the
certain things are
alternative to
dangerous.
that is I don't turn my son in and the police get to him before I get to him. Now the likelihood of chances of my son who looks like me, same skin color as me, the likelihood of him being able to walk away from that situation is slim to none. And we've seen it throughout the history. So if you're big enough to take someone's life, you're big enough to sit down for what you've
I mean,
done.
that's totally
I'm-
different. That's
I'm-
like an extreme.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about,
not,
like little
but
stuff.
I'm not. I don't think for anything would I lie for my son because
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're setting the wrong precedent. Like you're setting the wrong precedent.
Right.
So you're setting the precedent that you lie for your son, then he's gonna lie for his son, and they're gonna think that that's the way that you parent.
And look, at some point, you have to protect your children at all costs.
Look,
You protect them.
you can protect them, but you still have first and foremost, you have to be a parent.
That's right.
You're not their best friend.
That's
Oh no,
right.
I get that part.
You
Like I
have
said,
to
there's certain
be.
things where if they did it, they did it. Now there's other things like, look, now this was a mistake. It's like one-off type of thing. There's those.
Bro, if they came home with some candy that they stole from the grocery store, I'm not gonna take them back to the grocery. We're gonna have a long conversation.
Exactly.
But we ain't talking about candy. We ain't talking about candy. We talking about
If you kill somebody, you're going away. I'm just saying.
Right, you have to take that time.
You got to, because now you're putting the whole family in jeopardy. If you got daughters or if you got other
Yeah,
siblings,
you gotta go away.
now all of a sudden you're putting them in jeopardy. What happens when the person that your son killed is out looking for him and he sees your other son?
Right.
You got to we got to think about stuff like that. But I said that I kind of digressed a little bit, but that's in line with talking about mom. Mom can't do anything that I won't stand up for her on. I'm not going to cut off communication if mom decides that she's thinking a certain way and it's opposite of me and that's drawing a divide. She don't like the way I parent and so I don't talk to my mom. Man, some of the things that I've heard for the reasons why people don't talk to their mom, it's Larvell's situation, it's religion. That's understandable, and I still feel like it's mendable. It's very fixable.
Right.
But that's one of them. Okay, I get it. Not excusing it, but I get it. But some of the stuff that I've heard, the reason why people have cut off relationships with parents is just outlandish to me. It's outlandish to me. I don't get it. Please elaborate. I see I hear your brain going.
Well, it's like when you're having that type of issue with a type of parent, okay, nothing, like you say, nothing should come in the way between you and your parent. Okay. So all the issues that come about, we have to understand that it's going to be up to you to get to that point to be like, okay, this is enough. Okay, mom. Okay, dad. You know what? Let's iron this out. Okay, let's get this straight. Okay, yes, it is about religion, but then at the same time, okay, religion should not come between a mama, a daddy, and their child. Okay, this is your kid. This is your parents. Okay, regardless. Let's say religion wasn't in it, would they still act the same? So basically, you should be at the point of saying, okay, now we got to come together. Now we are a family. You know, regardless of what's going on, we are a family. Okay, I love you, you love me. Let's move on. Okay, years went by when it shouldn't have been that way, but years went by. Okay, I get it. Now it's at this time. Now let's start from now and move on. Let's go forward. Let's see. I'll come out there and see you. You come out here and see me. Let's get this going.
Because there's bigger things involved. When you're raising kids, the kids should not be a casualty of the bickering between you and your parents. They should, and because they're gonna be a casualty. Because you're going to have an attitude, and just like a woman that's scorned, you're going to keep your kids away from that parent that you don't get along with. And that's unfair. That women do that to us when they get mad at us. First thing that they do is hit us in our heart. Well, you ain't going to see your daughter. You ain't going to see your son. And that's an unfair treatment that kids constantly have to go through that I don't think parents consider enough. When they go through these family fights and they use kids as shields, and that ends up scarring them, and it's not fair to them. So everything that we've talked about is mendable and fixable. I don't care if I gotta pick up the phone all the time. Right. Mom, it's your birthday. I just wanted to call and wish you happy birthday. Love you. She don't answer the phone. I'm leaving a voicemail. I'm taking that onus off me because God forbid anything happen to her and I'm bickering and I haven't spoken to her and she passes away, bro, the load that you have to carry for the rest of your life because of that is not worth it to me. It's not worth, because ultimately what we're talking about is pride.
That's all it is.
It's pride. Between two people, it's pride.
That's all it is.
It's pride. Pride has killed more relationships than probably than cheating. Is your pride. Because pride won't allow you to communicate. It won't. Because you'll sit back and you'll say, well, if she don't reach out to me or he don't reach out to me, I ain't reaching out to them.
Yep.
And God forbid, both of y'all are super prideful people. Now ain't nobody talking.
They came from the same cloth, of course.
Cut from the same cloth.
You know?
So I just think at some point in your life you got to understand there's a bigger picture, and there's just a bigger picture than just that. Same thing with our kids. You know, one of my boys, we were talking, and he said, what was it? His son asked him, you know, what was he leaving him in his will? And he couldn't get him to do nothing. But that was his focus on what the money that he was leaving in his will. And he took offense to it. And around me, he said, which I later found out he didn't mean it, but we're talking about this because there are some parents that mean it. He said, I'm done with it. I'm done with my son. And my conversation with him,
cut him off.
And I'm cutting him off. And my conversation to him is like, that wasn't something he was born with. He wasn't born with that mentality. You created that mentality in him. Now that you've created this monster, you want to cut your son off because of the monster that you created.
That's right.
Because prior to that conversation, he was telling me, oh, I paid for his school, I paid for his car, I did this, and I did this, and I did this for him, and this. It's like, bro, you don't see the common denominator in this?
Right.
The common denominator is you. So if you're going to be mad at somebody and cut somebody off, cut yourself off. Because you're the common denominator in this. And we don't consider that enough when we look at our kids and be like, oh, my kids are bad. I don't like when
No,
parents
you never
call their kids bad.
You're never supposed to speak negativity over your kids at all.
Never. Because they 9 times out of 10, they're a product of their environment.
Exactly.
Whether it's directly you or the environment that you have put them in. Some of the environments you can't do anything about. So if you grew up in an urban area and you didn't have much, and your kid was in a neighborhood and saw
Right.
things that we all have seen in the, in our neighborhoods growing up, those are things that you can't help. But as a parent, your job is to know what those things are that's going on outside the house and have those conversations with your kid. And have them understand that, yeah, we live in an environment and this is the stuff that goes on, but you don't have to be there's a different way. There's other things that you can do. And we kind of hit on this, just to kind of wrap this up. We kind of hit on this, man. We get to a certain age, man, as parents, and we think that our job is done.
Oh no, it's never done.
Never gonna be done.
No. You're always
How
gonna
old is
be a
your
parent.
daughter?
So my daughter's 9 and my bonus baby is 3. She's a little girl too. And
And
my
what
son's
age-
13.
What age do you think you stop being a parent?
When I'm dead.
That's a trick. That was a trick
Yeah,
question.
it was when I
That's
died.
a trick question.
Yeah, that's,
We have these new age parents that want to be our kid's best friend, which is the biggest
Yeah.
mistake you can ever make.
That's right.
The other mistake is you want to give your kids everything that you didn't have. That is the second mistake. The third mistake is we get to 40s and 50s. Now we want to live our young life. Because 40s and
We
50s,
outside.
40s and 50s aren't what they were when
No.
our parents were 40 and 50.
No.
right.
Our 40s
That's
and
the
50s.
new 20s.
But yeah, 40s and 50s now is wearing the same things the 20s and 30s is wearing. And commendable, a lot of them is looking better than these youngsters is looking at this.
A lot of them looking.
Yeah, they can give out some lessons.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna reminisce on something I seen the other day.
Bro, it had you do all okay. All
Yeah,
right,
it was
we
real.
ain't gonna
It
have
was
you
real.
expound on that because hey, it's some dangerous places that you can go. In his head is one of them. So you want to stay out. You want to stay out of his head. Like you, yeah. Be careful what you ask.
Just saying.
But
taco,
yeah,
taco spot at 1 a.m. They be there, boy. It'd be real.
You just had a Tourette moment. Just
I did. Like I couldn't let that out, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. What are you saying?
But it's those three things, man. Is it all sums up to we are never. It's never an age where you stop being a parent. You're going to consistently be a parent. Are you going to teach your kids some values that once they reach a certain age they should be have all the tools that they need to be successful adults? Yes, but you still are going to be a parent. You just, instead of buying tennis shoes, you may have to pay rent, or you may have to make a car payment. I know about that. I've done both, but that's part of being a parent. So, but what you don't do is when those situations happen, those are teaching moments. So you don't want to keep creating this problem to where you're being a parent paying car notes and rents or mortgages, because what you're gonna set a precedent, and that adult who's supposed to be adult is gonna feel like, oh, let me go buy this, and maybe mom will look out for me next month or dad will look out for me next month on rent. We definitely have to be cognizant of how we're parenting. And you can always take good and bad from the parenting that you got. If you had bad parenting, you learned just as much of a valuable lesson as the person that had good parent, because now you know what not to do.
Right.
So it's all a lesson in all of it. Let's move on, because we can sit here and talk about that forever. So the other subject is
Real quick, one quick question. I'm about to keep you. He said that if his son did something, we took it way to the left, that he was going to tell on his son, right? That's what he said, right? You heard that too, right? We all in agreement with that.
I tagged my sons in this, so they hearing it.
Okay, cool. So if mom's called you and told you she got a body in the trunk and she needs you to get rid of it, what you doing?
Mom,
If mom's call you, tell you she got a body in the trunk and she needs you to get rid of
mom
it.
got to go sit down.
Mom got to sit
Mom got to sit down.
I ain't doing nothing around him, boy.
Because this is the thing is, y'all, like I keep saying, this thing is bigger. It's bigger than just the two people that we're talking about. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than my, because you got to understand, it's like once you take that on, speaking specific about what you just said, the body, I helped mom get rid of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, before the body got to me, I don't know the story of what happened. You don't know where it was committed at. It may be a dead end already. They already got us. They already got us. Now, by me knowing it, now what I've done is I've taken a father out of the household with young kids, because I felt like it was more important for me to protect someone who should have owned what they've done and been responsible for it. Bro, y'all got the wrong one when it comes to that, because I'm the person that no matter what I've done in my life, I'll own it. I will never make excuses for anything that I've done, and whatever my repercussions are, I'm owning it. And I just don't feel like we have enough of that in society. We don't have enough of people owning what they do. I own it. I understand. Bro, I'm so analytical and I'm so far thinking that if I do something that I know I shouldn't be doing, I understand that there's going to be repercussions, because I'm so analytical like that. Before I even do something, I've thought about it 4, 5, 6 times, and I played it over in my head what the repercussions of my actions will be. And I understand it. If I do something and it comes with severe consequences, hey, I own it. There's not a lot of people in this world, which is sad, that do that. But I own it. I own it. No matter what I do, I ain't gonna voluntarily give you the information, but I own it. If somebody I did it. Sorry. And I can't apologize really, because I thought about it 5 or 6 times before I did it. It wasn't like it was. I'm not a spontaneous person. I'm a spontaneous person when it comes to progressing in life and doing things to better me. I'm spontaneous in that aspect. But when it comes to doing something that I know that could possibly have severe repercussions, I played that thing over in my head 50 different ways of how it could turn out. And I understand all 50. And I know what comes with it. So, Mom, I'm sorry.
But you gotta go.
I'm going to put some money on your books.
Man.
And I'm going to be there for every court trial. But, Mom, hey.
Mom's got to go
First of all,
down.
and we could say this, as a parent, I wouldn't put my kid in that situation. I wouldn't bring that's like your daughter being 22, 23 years old. She out on her own. You kill somebody. You got him in the trunk. You going to your daughter's house and let her in on what you did? Now you got her involved. You gonna bring that dead body to your daughter's house?
This completely hypothetical situation that you're talking about right now, obviously no.
You want to make it clear.
We had to make it very clear.
Hypothetically.
No, that's not what we would do. It was just Arizona got a whole lot of holes in areas people don't even go to. You just go take care of that yourself. Allegedly.
Exactly.
Allegedly. That's how you do that.
Allegedly.
I learned that from a lawyer. Always say allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Just
But-
saying.
So let's get there's a lot happening in society, and those of us that everybody at this table go to church. we go to church, we know our pieces about the Bible and all of this other stuff, and we know the Bible is being fulfilled.
Yeah.
When you think about Revelations and what the Bible said about the end coming, it's being fulfilled.
Yeah.
Alien, pestilence, fires, the governments. We can keep going. The climate change,
Floods, yeah.
climate change, the whole nine.
Fires.
So what do we think about this Hawaii situation and these fires?
Man, there's like so many ways you can go with this one. People say like the uber rich, I guess, are wanting more land, so they're burning stuff. Some people say it's the government, aka still rich folks, using high tech military equipment. What they call it, energy weapon beams or whatever. Still, it's very sad to see them go through that and have to be pushed out of their homes. I mean, they're still finding people. They're still trying to recover from that.
I myself, I believe it. I believe that
Think the rich folks trying to take that land?
it's the government and it's money. We can just say that everybody that's involved would make that stands a chance to benefit off of this. Because when I looked at the map, bro, when I looked at the map of those fires and what it burned, that fire had legs.
It was
The
intentional.
way it was
set.
mapped out, that fire had legs. It's no different than when we try to walk through this room and we're trying not to hit nothing. When you look at that map and how that fire hit, it just conveniently stayed away from all the wealthy neighborhoods and all of this other stuff. And then came the conversations about, they were trying to get the land. They wanted to get that land and people wouldn't sell. And so, I'm not an expert on Hawaii, but I don't remember the last time I ever heard of Hawaii having brush fires.
Not like that, no. Especially like that.
And whole neighborhoods burning before a fire department can come on, bro. Come on now. And all the rich houses are on the coastline in this swirly pattern, and it's
And they're
crazy
good.
because the fires make that same
That's
swirly
it.
pattern along that coastline.
Yeah.
The time is coming, man, and I don't put anything past our government. It's just sad because the people that suffer for this with this kind of stuff are the people that don't have the means to get themselves out of this situation, and it sucks, bro. It really sucks. My heart goes out to the residents of Hawaii. My thoughts and prayers go out to them because they're victims. I firmly believe this is not natural. This is not a natural disaster. This is man-made, just like everything else is man-made. And that kind of segue us into the next topic. Y'all, here we might go back into lockdown.
I haven't heard
with
this.
this new variant, Omicron. It sounds like a freaking transformer.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
E something.
It's another like
Iris?
it's a strand on top of a
EG5.
strand on top of a strand.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe, I'm not saying that it's not real, but I think everybody kind of knows now that it's all man-made because it just conveniently happens around election time. I firmly believe, I'm listening to the chatter that, they're wanting the mail-in ballots so they can. I think people are getting smart and getting wise, and that's the reason why they're creating these things to kind of throw the forward thinkers off. We all know that the election and all that stuff is fixed. They're gonna put in office who they want in office.
Oh.
But I think there's so much light on the elections. I think things like the virus kind of takes a little bit of the eyes off of that. But you're not going to be able to get people too many times with the same thing. And this is, I'm not trying to minimize this. This is serious. by no means am I trying to minimize this, but I think people are wiser now about because you ain't gonna have people lining up like they did to get the COVID vaccine. I think people are going more for natural path medicines, herbs, and I encourage people, get on social media, do your due diligence, because this stuff that they are going to try to give you is going to have even worse adverse effects than the jabs that they had people get for coronavirus. There's all kind of stuff that's on there, education that's on there. Stop depending on people that don't care about you, thinking that they're going to help you.
Do we know what this new strain is supposed to do?
I was told that it's supposed to be like mainly body aches, but like severe body aches, like it'll shut you down. Basically,
it's basically it's called EG 0.5. It says it tends to infect the upper respiratory tract, causing a runny nose, sore throat, and other cold-like symptoms, as opposed to lower respiratory tract symptoms. So, I mean, sounds
Basically,
again like the
the
common
same,
cold,
yeah,
like
common cold.
and it's easy. They can do that because that is what strikes fear. Is that as soon as you cough or sneeze, everybody's gonna be like, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's how it was back. It was at 21.
And
cough wrong.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Cold and flu season doesn't exist anymore. It's
Yeah.
all the virus. We can't have a common cold anymore. I really encourage people, man. Get work on your health. Work on your health. Get in the gym. Start eating right. This is how you combat this stuff, man. Is you take care of your health. And there's so much education and information on social media. Stop being on social media just to do things that aren't productive. Get on there and man, I've learned so much between YouTube and Instagram. The information that is on those two platforms have educated me about so much stuff as it pertains to health. It is I've seen it to where it's dispelled things that we grew up on that was supposed to be good for us. Come to find out, it ain't so good for us. So it's gonna take us to do some due diligence. Don't just turn that TV on and feel like you need to listen to what these mugs are saying, because this thing is all about money. It's all about money.
My take on these upcoming elections, we talk about the coronavirus, we talk about borders, securing borders, we talk about healthcare, even we call it education.
Here you go. Here you go.
Talk, what is it?
What
I really want to know from a president, anybody that's running for office right now, is I just want to know one answer. What are we going to do about these aliens and national security? That's it. That's all I want to know. What are you going to do about this? Because now that all of the congressmen came out on Capitol Hill, had a whole news conference about it, basically said not only did we lie, they're real, but they're now a threat to national security. I want to know what we're going to do. That's what I want to know from the president.
Yeah. Will, what do you suggest we do?
So, if I was running for your president of the United States of America, North America, my people, what we would do, honestly, we're just gonna give them season tickets to the Dallas Cowboys. Why not?
Just give them season tickets to the Dallas.
Give them season tickets to the Dallas Cowboys, and
They
then
won't even want to stay no more.
and then, and if that don't work, if they still start acting up, listen, we had the game plan back in, was it 1993, 95? When did Will Smith make Independence Day? Call Will Smith, tell his ass to get back in shape. Look, you gotta go fight aliens again, my brother. Like, let's go. That's what we gotta do. Point blank, period.
You know what? I agree with you on that.
Call Will Smith. Let him work it out.
Yeah, let the aliens have it out with,
No, but on a
with Jerry
serious
Jones.
tip, what they were saying from that hearing was their more concern was, which is true, is to have more of an open lines of communications where things like this can get reported without you sounding crazy, stupid, because now
Open lines of communication with who?
So, airlines, military, aircrafts, anything that flies up in the sky, they're starting to see more and more UFOs or UAPs, unidentified flying phenomena, whatever. They're finding more of this, and they were saying on the news that are in that hearing that they can't hide it no more. It's becoming more and more prevalent. So what they want to do is open basically a place to report it. Where can I, as a captain of this airplane, report that I just saw an alien without losing my job? That's really what that hearing was about.
Well, I think at this point, with all of the information that's out on it, I don't think people are really questioning it too much. If you are questioning whether or not it exists, you live under a rock and you're closed-minded. My opinion is we need to have open dialogue. I mean, we need to have open dialogue, and if that's the case, that's a part of our life.
Yeah.
And instead of hiding it and coming up with these different policies against it, we need to figure out how to coexist with it. We need to figure out how to coexist.
I mean, they already started a whole new branch of the military, Space Force. So it's like, why do we need a Space Force unless we about to go up there and some stuff up?
How do we know there's an up there?
Down there, up there, Antarctica, wherever they at.
Has anybody ever went up there and actually came back? I'm not talking about the fake Neil Armstrong stuff. Has any spaceship we ever sent up actually come back? That's a legit question. I don't know.
I hear that even that was a facade. All the space travel and all of that, and it's just we live under the rule of a government that we don't trust. We don't trust anyway.
No.
So it's not so far-fetched to not believe this stuff, because we've been lied to repeatedly.
That's why I said what I said. Whatever president I'm going to vote for this year, I need to know. You can talk about anything else. I need to know what you're going to do about these aliens. And if he can honestly give me a legit, honest answer, then that's who I'm going to vote for. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
I think that we just gonna need to figure out a way to coexist. It's no, because one, we don't have enough information on them, and do we really want to make an enemy of somebody that
Definitely
might
don't wanna
have
make an enemy.
technology that we're a million years away from?
Take me with you.
I just
At this point,
bro, you sound like an excerpt from E.T.
right? Just take me with you. ET phone. I'm trying to go home.
I just think we need to learn from them.
Yeah.
They spent all of these years. If it's like what I'm hearing, they spent all these years learning about us.
Yeah.
So now it's time for us to learn about them. We've been hearing about, bro, since I can remember. I've been hearing about people having sightings, and they dispelled all of the military.
Not no more?
Military, all these different hangars that have all of this stuff that the military has found that has been hush hush. It's time to stop lying now. It's time to, because that's what does the damage, is the lying.
It's like coronavirus. It could have been handled way different.
Way different.
Way different.
Way different.
So, quick question. Once again, honest, legit question. There was a petition on Facebook going around to people talking about they're going to swarm Area 51.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember that, right?
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yep.
Is all this coming out because some of them got out with some information?
No. I can tell you what happened. I know this one. I can tell
Oh,
you
they
what
signed up and then they ass got popped?
That's not the reason why all this is happening right now. And this is the one good thing that Trump did. I mean, I'm not a Trump.
Bro,
fan.
I could.
This is
There's
one
a
of the
couple
that
things.
Trump-
There's a couple things he did that. Bro, Trump was a. We talked about coronavirus was a blessing when it happened. Trump being elected was a blessing. It wasn't all a blessing, but there were so many
He messed
blessings that came out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, finish it.
But anyway, so one of the things Trump did was during that coronavirus period, they had the package of the stimulus package. Now, a lot of people don't realize it wasn't just the stimulus package. It was a whole bill with different things in this bill that they had to pass. And once they passed that bill, Trump snuck in there that the government or the Pentagon had 183 days to get him information about UFOs on his desk within 183 days. Not only did the Pentagon give him that information way less than 183 days, that's when that first thing on the news came out about the aliens where they were flying along whatever the water coast, and the Air Force it was like that, we call it the tic-tac shaped UFO. That was the first thing that came out after Trump did this. Next thing you know, they created Space Force. So all I'm saying is, whatever he did worked. And now ever since then, that's what he's saying, all this stuff has been coming out because of Trump, they can't hide it no more.
Yeah. It wasn't all bad, bro. It wasn't all bad. Most of it was. But yeah, there's a lot of good that came out of that. Ending the conversation, since you preluded to Trump, is he free or going to jail?
Oh no, he just went in, got his mugshot taken along with everybody else. Now they got the mugshots.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was funny that they did it right when they had the very first debate, because they were talking about the fact that he wasn't there, he wasn't going to be there. The very next day, he went in to go get his pictures taken or get
his mugshot don't look no different than his regular picture.
Nah. Well, it's the fact that he had that grimace instead of a smile. He looked
did he have
like
the
he was
number
pissed
on?
off.
Did he have the number on it? Was he holding the number?
No.
Good that came out of that, but
He's still a shady businessman.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who it offends. If you still support him after all the stuff that he's done, all the illegal stuff, all of the this man got more, crimes on him than anybody I know.
Even before he got into office.
Yeah.
Right.
If you still support him, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. You might gonna lose. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Oh, you said it nicely. I thought you was going to go a little
Yeah,
harder than that.
you are an idiot. You need some direction and you need a hug. Like you're an idiot. I can sit here and say there was some good that came out of him being in office. There was. I won't say it was. But if you still support him, I need a loan from you,
Yeah.
a 6-figure loan, and I promise to pay it back
On Tuesday.
when I get my check. Because I know you're gonna. If you support him, you'll give me this loan.
They sure giving money for what is his name? His lawyer, former Mayor Giuliani. They're giving him money for all his legal fees, Trump legal fees. They're still pumping in money for all this stuff. To this day, they still giving them money.
All right.
Must be nice.
Will, it was a pleasure having you on the show today,
Yeah,
brother.
Appreciate y'all, brothers, man.
Bring you
Appreciate
back.
y'all, man.
I don't know how it is to have two Larvells on the show at the same time. We might have to separate y'all, put somebody in the middle of y'all, because y'all kind of. But I love how y'all vibe off of each other, because y'all brains is the same.
The same, man. Gotta
Yeah, because
live life.
we don't know from week to week what we're gonna get from Larvell.
I
We
said
don't
doing
know.
that thing.
But
Baby.
I just want to thank everybody that tuned in on all the social media platforms. Like I always say, man, comment. We want the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's the only way we're going to improve doing this thing. We love you guys. Stay tuned. We got some stuff coming up. Hit us up and let's have conversations. If there's something we've talked about in the past that you want us to elaborate on or have it be something else, another show, let us know. Because we come up with content early in the week. I ain't even lie. Sometimes we come up with day of. I'm sorry. I lied.
Yeah.
I lied. I lied. I apologize. But we'd love to hear from you guys and see if there's anything that you want us to talk about, subject matter. Also, it's still open. Anyone that's looking to want to do a podcast or start a podcast, our offices are available. We have all the equipment. The cost per hour is $75 an hour. We would like for you to sign up at least once a week for a full month. 'Cause
Get
we
your
fig-
podcast started. Get your podcast started. Let's go.
Yeah, we figured that 30 days will give you an idea and to get you comfortable, in front of the cameras, having a mic in front of you, and then you'll kind of develop, like I always say, it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I know it's therapeutic for everybody in this room. The space to come and just talk about that stuff, and to be able to feed off other people and get perspectives from other people is really, like I said, therapeutic.
Man, look, if y'all went all these other studios, all up in y'all podcasts, all in your videos, then you go over there. If you want to give it a real podcast, you come over here.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Death Row Podcasting, baby. It is what it is.
He has his Tourette moments, but we love him, no doubt. We understand what we get from him. So, with that being said, we thank you guys for tuning in. This week is when we start the new Showtime.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
it's an additional Showtime.
Yes.
Thursday at noon. It will be. We know people got jobs and stuff. You can't just be sitting at your phone or your computer
At least on lunch.
on Thursday at noon, but
Tune
it
in.
will be recorded. All of these episodes will be put up on podcast. I mean on YouTube. Go to YouTube, our Shoes Off Talk podcast on YouTube, and subscribe. Hit the like button. Like I said, this has been a work in progress. We making strides, but as we end all shows, love, peace, and soul train.